Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for another match of the Dubai Sevens. This is an important one. Fiji need to win it if they want any chance of even making it to the quarterfinals. At the moment, they are sitting 2 points, 2 losses so far for the Fijians. At this stage, they need to win this game really at least by, it will have to be 8 points or more up against Argentina. If they can't do that, and if they don't even get the win, they will be out of this Dubai Sevens competition. We have got their PNG Gaming in the chat. Welcome into the live stream. And also we have got their Jay and also Paddy Wagon. I'm here. Oh, and here I am still awake, but dead inside as well, says Paddy Wagon. It's certainly going to be a late night for us here in New Zealand. If we do watch all of the sevens, we have still got match after match. The next game that we are covering on the channel, it is going to be Kenya. They're taking on Canada. That's going to be an important game because that will decide possibly who goes through to the quarterfinals as well. And also we have got there, you sound like my ex's mum as well, says Jay there, but the Dubai Sevens, it is well and truly underway. And also the best thing about it is we have got a crowd here for these matches as well, which is absolutely awesome to see. Then the next game after that we are covering, South Africa versus Great Britain. But first of all, before that game, it is going to be USA taking on Australia. But I hope you are all doing well, even though we are in the middle of the night for some of you guys. I appreciate you all being here for yet another match that we are going to be covering. It is going to be South Africa taking on Great Britain. It's the final match that we will know exactly who is going to be going through to the quarterfinals. But first of all, of course, we have got this favorite. This is a favorite game of mine, I should say. Argentina, Fiji. We saw these two sides. They played off for the bronze medal in the last week's match, and it was Argentina who were able to pull off the upset win. Then also for this week, Fiji, they don't actually have too many wins up against Argentina and Dubai. We have got there. Be sure to like the channel and subscribe to the video as well, says Sebastian there. Be sure to like the channel and subscribe to the, there you go, mate. It's in the reverse order right there. And also we have got the from Paddy Wagon there as well. But they are showing here at the moment. Fiji, like I mentioned, they need to win this game by 8 or more, because if they do not, they won't even be in third, and it is the two best third place teams go through to the next round. So that is why it's so important for Fiji to get this one. Any link to watch it, it says Francisco, please, as well. If you type in World Rugby into YouTube, Francisco, you will be able to watch this game on their YouTube channel. So be sure to check that out. If it doesn't work, do let me know. But pretty much depending on the country you're in, you may be able to watch this game for free on YouTube on World Rugby. So be sure to check that one out, because it is going to be a very good game indeed. And Steve in the chat says Jay there in the chat. Well, like we see here, Argentina, the last 5 meetings have beaten Fiji 3 times, twice in Dubai. Both very close games as well. But Fiji, normally if they do beat Argentina, it is a runaway. So we'll have to wait and see whether or not that will be the case in this game as well. But Argentina here, they will be very keen to stop them from getting a whole heap of momentum. And I do see Marcos Minieta, who will be coming off the bench. I absolutely love watching him as a player. He was a standout in the Tokyo 2020 games, if not the player of the competition. And it will be very exciting to see what he can do up against this tough Fijian side with Talafolo. He's going to be exciting. Also, Natubu was able to score 2 tries in the last one. Also, you also have the Spanish commentary stream on the World Rugby YouTube channel. Francisco as well. It is exactly right. It is pretty awesome that they are showing all of these games on YouTube, because I always say it, like, I want rugby to be easily accessible for all of you guys. There's a guy dressed as a Christmas tree. I guess it is the season for it. 'Tis the season to be jolly, and it is certainly a jolly atmosphere in Dubai at the moment, with the fact that we have got crowds back for these games. The next time that we do get to see the Dubai Sevens, or even just Sevens in general, I should say, it is going to be late January, and that is going to be in Spain. But now both sides making their way out onto the field. A little bit of a nod between the captains there at the front. Show respect between these two sides. And Fiji are going to be in their blue and dark blue kit, I believe, for this one. Maybe deciding that those first 2 games did not go too well. That's a very nice kit. I might have to try and get myself one of those kits, because it is very nice indeed for the Fijians. But now, can they make it through to the quarterfinals? They need a win, but they don't just need a win. They need to win their game by 8 points. That's minimum for them to be able to go through it. And even with winning it by 8 points, that doesn't guarantee them a spot in the quarterfinals. It will all come down to whether or not Kenya can beat Spain. We know that Ireland should be able to win big over Japan. So really, it's down to whether or not Kenya can beat Canada, of whether or not they will be going through. But we will have to wait and see. But nonetheless, this game about to be underway. Fiji, they have had 2 from 2 so far in terms of the losses. That is not what we used to say. On 70 cents of the Fijians, women's one. Now it's time for the men as well. So you are spending your men's money right onto, your women's money right onto the men for this game, perhaps. Going to be Fiji kicking off in the blue. We got Summer of 69 playing at the Dubai Sevens at this stage. And Fiji now, this is fight or flight here for them. They need to make sure that they do make it through, or do or die, I think was the saying that I was after, but didn't quite find it. And now it's going to be German Schultz going forward. He was actually able to score himself 2 tries into the last match, I believe. Now down the wing here for the Argentines. Into touch, though. And it is going to be the line out. I want to say Fiji to win, but I find it harder and harder to trust the lads as well. Yeah, it is very tough with such a young side here for the Fijians. It's actually going to be a penalty in favour of the Fijians here. They're going to be able to take the quick tap. I'm not actually too sure what that is for. It's going to be a yellow card as well. Is it a yellow card? It is, yeah. It's a yellow card to one of the Argentines. I'm not too sure what that penalty was for, but he is off the field now for the next 2 minutes. So that means that Fiji, they are going to be sitting very nicely in this match for Lizazu off the field. I have no idea what that penalty was for, but it must be something relatively serious for him to get the yellow card right at the start of this game. But now the Fijians, they have got this ball back. It is going to be a good run forward. I don't believe it is Talatholo. Instead, it is going to be Rasuku passes it off. And this is going to be the opening try of the match for the Fijians. And it is going to be Natunyu who was able to score it. Very nicely done. And it does mean that they have been able to score their opening try of this game now for Fiji. So that yellow card could be costly here for Argentina. They do not want to let Fiji get too many points early on in this one. But Fiji, that is already 5 or 7 points that they do need. They need to win by at least 8 here. And maybe even more than that. They may have to win it by about 30 to be able to go through, depending on how Kenya and Canada go in their fixture. It's going to be kicked by the Fiji, and every point is crucial. He's got that one. The referee almost ran into the post, but it is going to be 7-0 now to Fiji, and this match has only been going for 1 minute 50. A very good start for the men who are wearing the blue for this game as well. We have got there, did you place the bet, Jay, as well? Says Sebastian. Tell you what, if he didn't, it is now going to be paying a lot less, that is for sure. But now Argentina, they are still going to be a man down for the next 40 seconds of this sevens fixture. How costly will it be? Can Fiji get themselves another? It's going to be kicked off long, taken almost by Talatholo. But instead now, it is going to be back on the side of the Argentines. I'm looking forward to seeing Marcos Manieta come off the bench. But first of all, now Argentina, they're going to continue to attack. They're actually getting a lot better over the last couple of years. We did see them get a bronze medal for the Tokyo 2020 Games and also a bronze medal when it did come to the last week. Now breaking through once again there. It is going to be Valias still available for them here. And it is going to be, stolen there by the captain of Fiji. He's going, and it's going to be a try. And it will be tell you what, this is our one. Joshua, I know that's the first name. Vukuruna Billy is the name there. I feel like I've tried to say that name every single time, and it never rolls off the tongue, but it's a brilliant try for the captain. It's easier to call him the captain because he is certainly playing like one at the moment. 14-0 now to Fiji. Try for the Fijians. So they have scored 2 tries in that time that Argentina were down to 6 men. Those are the points that they really needed to be able to push themselves up, because Spain at the moment, they will be back below them if this game finishes the way that it is at the moment. We see 2 sides warming up in the background as well. I believe it was the USA or maybe Kenya getting ready for their upcoming fixture. Which is going to be very exciting. This is the Fijians Sevens we are used to. Maybe that's the thing. They might do like what USA did last week. They might have a couple rough games at the start, but then all of a sudden, USA played very well in the quarterfinal and the semifinal. Maybe Fiji do the same here if they make it through to those stages. But now it's a lot of pressure there. The ball's bouncing out there for Argentina. Came off a boot, bouncing back up here for Los Pumas. Ramos, sorry, it didn't quite come out there and not releasing penalty. So now it is going to be Argentina who have got the ball once again. They are back to the 7 men, which is definitely an advantage for them. Rather than playing with the 6, it looks like they will be taking this one quickly. Do they? No, they're going to be kicking it for touch. Now instead, decided to tap it. Like they're saying here, the points differential at the moment is actually sitting on -5 here. So I actually did the maths well and truly wrong. Fiji need to win this game by about that 30 to be able to win this one or to get through to the next stage. And that's going to be another penalty there to Argentina. See, I had it as they only needed to win by 8, but they actually needed to win this game by probably like that 20 mark. So we'll have to wait and see whether or not that will be the case. It's going to be a counteract there from the Fijians, but it's another penalty to Argentina. Time is running down at the moment. So they are sitting on -5 at the moment here for the Fijians. So they need to be able to get themselves another 17 points. They need to win this game 31-0 to be able to get anywhere near the Spanish for this one. That is how well Spain played in this competition, but now it will be Argentina once again driving their way forward. They have already been able to get score themselves 14 points. Still now beautiful inside ball. It's a knock on though. And now the Fijians once again having this ball back. Good fend as well. He's backing himself. Ball on the inside. This is going to be another try for Nyatunyo. And he's going to be scoring it. He needs to make sure that it's a nice easy kick as well. For his kicker, he has been able to do so. And Fiji score again as well, says Ali Hill with the helicopter and the little emoji as well. But now that's another try for Fiji. 21-0. Now that changes it. Now they are sitting at a +2 for their points differential here. I am just going to quickly grab myself a pen because I'm going to have to keep on writing this down to keep myself updated. So at the moment, with this kick to come, they are sitting even at the moment here for Fiji. Can they win this one by an unheard of margin up against the Argentines to be able to make their way through to the next stage? The worst thing for them is they can win this game, but once again, it will not quite be enough because they will have to not just win it by 31, but they need to keep on going. And I'm about to fall asleep, says Betty Wagon. That one. Did it go over? The coverage has kind of cut out, but it is going to be 19 points now for Fiji. They weren't able to convert it. It would have been an important 2 points. Will it be the difference in the later stages? We will have to wait and see, but 19 points to Fiji. Argentina sitting on the nil. Once again, a good attacking run there from the Argentine. Yep, still awake as well, says Ellie Hills. Yeah, we are sitting 2:30 a.m. here in New Zealand. It is going to be a late night, that is for sure. We're up right through to 8 a.m. Argentina's got this ball back. 20 seconds left of this first half. The draw and pass. If Argentina score one try in this game, I would say that will be the difference. Talatholo, they had just wrestled to the ground, stolen by the Fijians. And there's going to be another try. They did have someone down for Argentina, and he's going to score. Rasuku now has scored it. Right. We're going to keep on writing it down. That's going to be +7 there for them. But there is a player down at the moment. It does not look too good for him. I'm not too sure what the extent of the injury is, but hopefully he is all right. And now hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. 7 series to be discussed on the Rugby Down Under podcast. Be sure to check it out on Apple, Google, and Spotify as well. Says Sebastian, you heard the man. If you haven't already, be sure to check out the podcast. It is the pinned comment. But Rasuku, he just jumped all over that one. And also, Jesus, only 9:30 p.m. here in Perth as well. Says Jay, yeah, it is certainly going to be a late night. The last game finishing at that 8 a.m. And Rasuku able to score himself another try here. So they are sitting +7 as their points differential here for the Fijians. So does that mean actually, now that I think about it, I think that they are sitting a lot higher. I think they actually only needed to go up by 8, but it did confuse me big time because Spain is sitting at -12. So yeah, they're actually ahead by quite a bit here, Fiji. And give Seb a pay rise, mate, as well. I certainly do need to. Whatever you're earning now, Seb, up it by 5%, mate. Because it is it's currently 0, but we'll work on that. We'll work on that soon. Who knows? Maybe Kiwi Lads Employee of the Month could be a thing. And Kiwi Runaway Train as well. Love to see Pumas getting stomped ever since Matero's nonsense. Sorry as well, says Mike there. Of course, he's heading to the Crusaders here, isn't he? But 26-0 at halftime. I believe my original maths was correct, but this is trying to tell me that it wasn't because they did show it a little bit earlier on. So pretty much Fiji, I believe now they are sitting on 5 points as the live table sits, and they have got a points differential of +7. So I assume if it stays this way, they will be going through to the quarterfinals, and it will be the big question of who are they going to be versus. We have Scott there. Hi, Hamish. Thanks for awesome commentary as well, says Michael Roberts. Thank you very much, mate. We do see a stretcher in the background, which has got me a bit concerned. I believe the Argentine player, I'm not too sure what happened in terms of what caused the injury, but it looks serious, and you hate to see that. As I see, I don't think I'm going to be able to hang in here until, I don't think I'm going to be able to hang in here until the last game as well. There's Ali Hills. It is certainly late here in New Zealand. The next game we are covering Kenya versus Canada. That will be kicking off pretty much straight after this one. And then the next one, it is going to be USA versus Australia. Couple hours off, then back into it for Springboks Sevens side versus Great Britain. And then it is going to be the final one, which is going to be the Bulls and the Sharks as well. We have got the Asjeric Tawai playing. He is not. They actually only have 2 players from that Olympic gold medalist. So it is unfortunate for them in that regard. James Haskell there just in the crowd at the moment, stroking a random man's head. But I'm sure he knows him, so that is all right. But yeah, pretty much they have only got 2 players from the Olympic Sevens that are actually in the team. The rest were on the debut for this one as well. It looks like he's back up. It looks like it might be a broken shoulder or broken arm or something along those lines. Turns out he is holding it right there. Azazu, unfortunately for him, the sad thing about it is the fact that he was actually off the field for 2 minutes earlier on in this game. Well done, Sebastian, as well in the chat. Also, we've got the Employee of the Month. Indeed, he is. Sebastian, tell you what, Employee of the Month. Now it is set in stone. No one can question it. Even if they don't look at the chat replay, it is right here. Sebastian is a Mr. Employee of the Month for us. And no to why as well, says Mike there. And also, we have got the tapping emoji from Sebastian there in the chat. Congratulations. Says it Paddy Wagon there as well. It's going to be kicked off for the second half now for Argentina. They want to be able to try and slow this down because 26-0 at the moment for the Fijians. That's going to be a knock on there from Argentina once again. And I believe it was Forcade who did have that knock on, but now they have still got this ball. It's actually not going to be a knock on. They are just going to be playing on for now. Good run forward for the Argentines. Natholo able to drag him down. That's not his name. It's Talatholo. Once again, now firing it out the back line. I'm thinking of Kenny Naholo, who is going to be signed for the Crusaders. I'm excited to see him into the Super Rugby season as it comes up alongside Fiji and Drua as well. And thanks, Fiji is a strong side as well, says Michael Roberts. They are indeed. Oh, big bump off there. And now on the outside, nicely done by the Argentines, trying to pierce the line there. It was Vera, Santiago Vera, not able to get through. Nice step on the inside there. Beautiful offload. And it is going to be Elizalde who has been able to score it there as well. We will go like this, and we will go like this as well. We will go like this and like that. There we go. Argentina sitting on 7. So now all of a sudden the points differential will sit in all square at the moment for the Fijians, which does mean that Kenya, if they win by less than, if they actually get any form of win under 10, then they will be missing out possibly on the semi-final as well. It's going to be an interesting one to add up, but that one has gone over from them. Do you ever sleep Irish as well, says Joss? I do. It's just normally during the day, like for the weekends. Pretty much my weekends, due to all the Northern Hemisphere rugby, I always, like, even when it's on, I can't sleep because I'm like, I want to know the score. So I end up looking on my phone every like 10 minutes. So I'm better off just watching the games, to be honest, and then sleeping after them. But yeah, I will be sleeping during the day before we get into the quarterfinal matches of the Dubai Sevens as well. We have got there. I heard a rumor that Blaze is a mascot for the Fiji teams. Dresses up in the mascot uniform as well. I'll tell you what, he's done well maybe when he was flying at Fiji. Really, he was tricking us all, and he's at the ground at the moment. Possibly could be the case, but now it is going to be great low tackle there from Rasaku once again. Still available for the Argentines. This is to try and knock Fiji out of the quarterfinals, and now it's going wide. Nicely taken by Lazar. Oh, it's actually Lazazu, so it wasn't actually him who did end up getting injured a little bit earlier on. That looked a little bit forward there from the Argentines, and it is going to be the scrum feed now for the Fijians. We have got there. As it stands, is it enough for the Fijians to reach the quarterfinals, says Sebastian? So at this stage, if all of the other games, let's just say Kenya and also Ireland both end in a draw, yes, it would be, because they are sitting on their points differential of exactly 0. And the two other teams that are in third place at the moment, Ireland have a -12, and then Kenya have a -10. So pretty much Ireland should beat Japan by enough to let them qualify, but it's whether or not Kenya win their game by enough to get back ahead of Fiji, which is actually the next game. So it's literally going to be game after game. We get to see how this is going to be set up. And I'm very excited indeed. But yeah, you'll have to wait and see. Don't tell him I said that, though. He will demote me as well, says Jay. It is all right. I haven't told him about the fact that you have been here. I remember I had to say that you weren't speaking any English in the chat as well. I remember that, and I have not let him know, but that is going to be a big push there, and it's going to be a win or a penalty there, I should say, to the Argentines. Raval now charging his way forward. Almost this burst carry. Great hands from the Argentine, and it is going to be Jermaine Schultz once again attacking. Oh, it's a good tackle there by the Fijian. It was actually Talatholo. He had long enough arms to wrap around two legs of the Argentine players. Great step on the inside. It is Marcos Muñeta, and it is great to see him back. It's a penalty to Fiji, though. No English as well. And also, we have got there 26 watching. Smack that like button, you heard the man. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like. Fiji, as it stands, are going through to the quarterfinals, ladies and gentlemen, but it's going to be important that they do close out this game well. 3 minutes left. Argentina have the ability to be able to score themselves a try. That one has not found touch for Fiji, and that is a mistake from the Fijians. He has kicked it right down to the 22, and it will be the captain Raval, or the ex-captain Raval, I should say. He's now got it for Argentina. I'm looking around for Marcos Muñeta. He was supposed to be playing for the Barbarians, but didn't get the chance, unfortunately, due to that game up against Samoa being cancelled. Now, once again, it will be out the back line. I see a Muñeta out on the outside if they decide to use him. Decides against it just at this stage. And Fiji win themselves another penalty now. So they will be looking maybe to just close out this game without taking too many quick taps, too many risks for them. They do not want to give away any penalties. But now it looks like Fiji will be kicking this one for the touchline this time. So they know at this stage they've got a decent lead. They've got their points differential of sitting on exactly 0, and it means that Kenya have to beat Canada by 11 to be able to go above them. It's doable, but it's certainly scoreboard pressure because you're not just playing against the opposition there. If you're Kenya, you're playing against the clock, and that is something that they will have to be very careful. But Raval, they are showing him. Of course, he ended up getting red carded in that match of the Olympics when they were able to beat South Africa, who are on an absolute tear. I don't think South Africa have lost a game since then, sitting on 20 wins in a row. They are going to be playing a little bit later on up against Great Britain, and we will be covering that one on the channel as well. But that game is kicking off at 5:33 a.m. New Zealand time, and then we are going to be covering the game at 6 a.m. between the Bulls and also the Sharks, which is a South African derby, but now it's taken nicely by Talatolo. Once again, now Rasaku passes it back across field. Fiji look like they're just willing to close out this game, but if they get themselves one more try, perhaps it will be enough. It's a great tackle onto their number 10, straight on the ball there for Argentina. Has he got it? No, he hasn't. Off the feet is the call, and now Rasaku not quite on the mark, so they're going to be going back. But a good attacking run there from Waneteba. We haven't really seen too much of him in the last couple of games. He gets to take the quick tap now, though. And once again, we'll be passing the ball back across field. My Samoa now. Oh, it's a beautiful run there from the Fijians. And it's going to be a third try now for Nyachunyo. I can't pronounce that one still to say myself, but that's going to be another try for the Fijians. And now they will move themselves up to 33 points. They have a points differential of +7. They're not going to have an easy game. I believe more than likely we might see the Springbok Sevens side take on Fiji in the quarterfinals. That is kind of what I'm thinking at this stage, unless, of course, they go a little bit higher and then they will be taking on probably more than likely either the USA or Australia, or actually maybe France. Could be a decent shout there as well. You'll have to wait and see, but it's very exciting to see how this is going to be set up. We always got there. The try and the tap. The yawns are starting to come in a little bit more. Of course, I got the light on. 50 seconds left now. And it is going to be Nyachunyo going off the field. 70 seconds. Solid as a house. Cash me out as well. Down that one is going to be going backwards. Fiji once again have got this ball. Looks like they are not finished attacking. If they get themselves one more, that would 100%, I would think, guarantee them a spot in the next round. But we will have to wait and see. Of course, Kenya, they will know what they have to do, and they will come out absolutely firing up against the Canadians, who have been struggling just a little bit so far. Although they did have a couple close games once again going through, and it is going to be Fiji who have been able to score the final try of that match, and it is Kanakai Vata who was able to score it. Not the yawning as well, and I'm still here, says Betty Wagon. Appreciate you being here, mate. Elia, Kanakai Vata has been able to score it. I think Fiji have done enough here to make it through to the quarterfinals. They came into this match, and this was one that I thought was going to be reasonably close, and they have blown it out of the water there, Fiji. They have got a points differential now of +14, which now means that Kenya need to win their game up against Canada. Probably more than likely, they need to win that game by 25 points to have a chance of being able to go through to the next stage, which is actually very extreme in that regard. That one has gone over, and the end score in this game, 40 points to Fiji and 7 to Argentina. Very impressive indeed. But nonetheless, the next game that we are going to be covering on the channel will be kicking off in only a little bit of time, which is very exciting indeed. But anyone wondering about the standings, as it sits right now, it is going to be Argentina sitting on 7, France sitting on 7. They are both through when it comes to Pool C. Then Fiji have got a points differential of +14, which means that Kenya need a massive win. And cheers, mate, at least the Flyer's gone as well. I think it's still lurking, but it might be sleeping at the moment, perhaps. Old McFly, Marty McFly it was, wasn't it? And also Fiji lost to France, Spain, and then ruined Argentina, the paradox as well. Said Sebastian, but like I mentioned earlier on, it could be like that game for the USA, how they struggled with the group stage, but then they went through, they qualified, then they kept on going. Quarterfinal, they made it. Semi-final, they made it. And then they made it through to the final. But it's going to be an exciting one. And we do get to see whether or not Fiji do get themselves through. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I've got a little bit of a weird situation here. So, no, it should be fine. I was going to say they actually had Fiji below Spain there, but their points differential was high, and I thought it was done off some sort of like wins to loss thing, but it is not. It is still all right, but nonetheless, we will be switching over to our Kenya versus Canada one, so I will see you all in a very,